You are listening to the Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
All right, welcome. You've pulled together some really fascinating stuff for us today. Lots happening out there.
There really is.
We're going to try and cut through it all, especially what's going on in web development and, get you up to speed fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels like the tech world changes by the minute, doesn't it?
Oh.
It's key to figure out what actually matters in all that information flow.
Yeah.
And there are some surprising shifts, some really critical things we should probably unpack.
Okay, let's do it. Let's kick things off with something that sounds simple but is actually a huge challenge in big systems.
Yeah.
Figuring out what happened first.
Ah, yes. The ordering problem.
Right, because you just can't trust the wall clock time on different machines, can you? Clocks drift, network delays. It's kind of messy.
It's totally messy. And relying on timestamps alone is, well, often impossible for figuring out true causality. So computer scientists came up with a quite an elegant solution.
Logical clocks.
Exactly, logical clocks. Instead of time, they use these increasing counters tied to events.
Yeah.
So if A happens before B and influences B, A's counter is guaranteed to be lower.
Oh, okay.
It forces you to think about the happen before relationship, the actual cause and effect, not just when something got logged.
Right.
It's fundamental for, debugging distributed systems.
That makes sense. Okay, so shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about how we actually code day to day. There was this pretty provocative piece suggesting you should delete tests.
Yeah, that one definitely catches the eye.
It does. I mean, tests give us confidence, right? But this piece argues some tests actually hurt. Flaky tests, tests that are too slow or just plain outdated, they can waste so much time.
Oh, absolutely. I think we've all been there. It ties straight into developer productivity and cognitive load.
Cognitive load, right. The mental effort just to understand the code you're looking at.
Precisely. And when that load gets too high, mistakes happen. The material had some good examples of how to reduce what they call extraneous load, things like, avoiding super complex if conditions, maybe not using inheritance quite so much,
Yeah.
and just using clear variable names. Simple stuff, but it adds up. Less mental juggling means, well, faster, better coding.
And speaking of efficiency, here's another one that really challenges the standard advice. Use one big server.
Right, which sounds almost crazy today, with everyone talking microservices and scaling out.
Totally. The default is always distribute everything.
But, for a lot of typical web services, maybe you don't need that complexity.
Yeah.
A single beefy server can sometimes be simpler to manage, cheaper, easier to debug.
Yeah, less moving parts.
Exactly. It's not always the right answer, obviously, but it's a good reminder that sometimes simpler is actually better.
Okay, now, AI. This is where things feel like they're moving at light speed. We're seeing tools like Sasumi.ai turning Apple docs into Markdown, so LLMs can generate Swift code from them, and things like the agent client protocol. Basically a standard way for editors and AI coding assistants to talk to each other.
Yeah, that standardization is key. What's really fascinating is how deeply integrated AI is becoming in the actual workflow. Like the point about senior developers shipping almost 2.5 times more AI-generated code than junior devs.
Even if they spend more time fixing it up.
Yeah, even then, they still end up shipping faster overall. It's changing things. And it raises this next question. If AI is so central, how do we manage these models?
All right.
There's this interesting idea floating around about AI needing something like a virtual machine, like the JVM for Java.
Like a sandbox.
Sort of. A standard runtime environment.
Yeah.
It could improve security, let you swap models more easily, handle the integration logic separately from the core AI logic. Makes a lot of sense for managing complexity and risk.
That's a really interesting parallel. Okay, so from AI building code to AI impacting us as users, let's talk control and data. The Android sideloading debate is always lively.
It is. And often, the arguments miss the point slightly.
How so?
Well, people argue about controlling the hardware, but the real issue is often about controlling the software, the operating system itself.
You mean like being able to install a completely different OS?
Yeah, exactly. True user control might look more like that, the ability to choose your OS with decent support from the manufacturer, not just whether you can install apps from outside the official store.
That's a different angle.
It is.
Get it.
And it connects to this broader tension, right?
Right.
Balancing that user freedom, the ability to sideload with protecting maybe less tech-savvy users from malware and scams. It's tricky.
Definitely. And speaking of user control and data, Anthropic's recent policy change with Claude is a big one.
Oh, yeah. Using user conversations for training by default now. You have to actively opt out.
which most people probably won't do.
Probably not. It's just another important reminder for you listening to really pay attention to these policies and make conscious choices about how your data is used.
So quite a journey today. From the nitty-gritty of distributed systems and logical clocks to rethinking tests and servers, the massive impact of AI on how we build things.
And then right into user control, data privacy, the big picture stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. The whole tech landscape just feels incredibly dynamic right now.
It really does. And maybe the question for you to think about is, how do all these shifts in systems, in tools, in data policies, how do they actually change how you use and build technology every day?
That's a great question to leave things on. We covered a lot of ground today, really getting into some essential topics. Thanks for joining us as we explored what's moving and shaking in tech right now.
Spoken Tech for your ears.